Alrighty, awesome. So, last one, promise. I'll make this quick and painless. I have something that hopefully you guys will be pretty interested in. My name is Ron Glosman. I'm the CEO and founder of Chisel. Founded the company about 3.5 years ago. We're based in Toronto, Canada. And I'll give you a 30-second story about why, because I'm not from the insurance industry at all. I was a student studying computer science and business, and I like to play video games a lot more than I like to go to school. So I thought, what if I could teach a computer how to read textbooks and create summaries like Cole's Notes or Spark Notes, 1 page per chapter. Lo and behold, I did it. In about 2 weeks, we were in 33 countries, 44 plus universities. We're talking Princeton, Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Russia, China, India, Germany, Brazil, Switzerland, Australia, Portugal, you name it, literally every continent except Antarctica, because penguins can't read yet. And so about 1.5 years ago, long story short, Google calls it one of the best 50 apps of all time for students. Realize that students don't have discretionary income. So about 1.5 years ago, we pivoted specifically for the insurance industry, where we're working with both brokers and carriers to digitize and standardize all of those long, wordy forms you guys work with. And we raised the second largest seed round ever in Canadian history, the largest seed round since 1998, north of $6 million last year, led by Venrock, which is the 7th largest VC in the world. So let's talk a bit about insurance, because really that's why we're all here. Today, the industry is very slow, reactive, and product-centric, and the whole goal is to get it to be agile, predictive, and customer-centric. But there's lots of constraints you guys have to work against. Increasing regulatory scrutiny, operating costs always going up. Probably the biggest one is millennials coming to market and expecting digital, custom, 24/7 solutions. And one of the best ways to tackle all of these problems is going to be introducing digital employees to your workforce. So what does that look like? Or what does that look like? AI, actually. So a lot of people have been talking about it. I've been sitting in this room, probably heard the word 100 times today alone. So here's what we actually do. There's 7 traditional branches to AI, ranging from pure machine learning all the way down to robotics, which is the Terminator, and that's when the world ends. So for now, we're going to focus on what we call natural language processing. That's the ability for a computer to read and understand information just like a human. And even more specifically, there's 2 things we focus on: extracting information from documents and then classifying it. So who's the insuree, who are we insuring, what property, how big is the property, what are the revenues, etc. And so this is what it looks like. You can take a document. We're talking PDF, Word, Excel, email, policy, submission, quote, binder, and identify who are all the parties, which companies are involved, what places are we insuring, how much are we insuring them for, what are the deductibles, what is the co-insurance. All of that really important information that you need to do your underwriting or your broking. And so here's what it looks like. We've taken a process, a couple of them, and I have 2 products I'll talk about today, that essentially involve multiple stages. In this case, we're going to talk about submissions and policy checking, which are 2 processes that brokers and carriers have to do all the time. And what we've done is we've completely automated those processes, making them 400 times faster and 80% cheaper than doing it by hand. So the first one is this. It's the ability to take a submission. So one of our existing customers works with over 3,000 brokers. They invested tens of millions of dollars building a portal, and then only 600 brokers were willing to use it, which meant almost 80% of their business was not willing to do it. We've now built an API that out of the box works with over 600 different brokers and can standardize them into the Accord standard XML. And just last month, we won the award for the Accord International Insurtech Global Innovation Competition, #1. So if that's a proof point, happy to show afterwards. We also do a lot of work with brokers. Brokers have something called policy check, where they take a policy and a binder and a quote and the whole paper trail and need to mitigate their errors and omissions. So last year we ran a pilot with 2 of the biggest brokers in the whole world, where we checked 6,000 policies. We were able to identify 33 policies with E&O exposures that totaled $1.5 billion in limits for those companies. One of them was a renewal on a $700 million limit where they forgot to append fire damage on the renewal. And now you can imagine how catastrophic a loss like that would be to a company. So I'm happy to show you how it works. It takes about 1 second to do a policy check or extract the information from a submission. And so to summarize, there's 5 things we focus on. We have better than human accuracy today, and with AI, it only gets better, so very exciting. It's about 400 times faster than a human, so for every page you read, we read 400. It's scalable. You don't need to wait 18 years for a child to be born, go to school, and become licensed as a broker if necessary, or as an underwriter. It takes about 10 minutes to spin up a server that does 10,000 policies or submissions a year. It's about 80% cheaper, and really the goal is to help you increase capacity and underwrite or broker more policies. Thank you. I'll be giving demos outside if anybody's interested.